It's no use!
Jakks Pacific's Silver the Hedgehog. It's pretty cool. But I do have a few problems with it. Don't get me wrong, I love Silver's design, but he's just a little chunky. He's a little round. He's supposed to be skinny like this. Like, he still looks fine, but he could just be a little bit more better. So I'm gonna be swapping the bodies out with Sonic. And yeah, now his head is his neck peg is a little bit different, but it should be fine. I also really don't like his arms. They also look a little chunky as well, and they also don't really get the best poses either. So that's why I'm also picking Sonic's body, because he also has a little skinnier arms. His legs are pretty good as well, but I will be using Sonic's legs because they're the same and I can't be bothered removing them. His neck's pretty good, but he does have this little tab at the back of his neck peg, so I will be sorting that out. Solid figure though. Now, my Silver has a very, very tight neck peg, and it is difficult to get that off. But he also really does not like to stick onto Sonic's neck, as it is a completely different neck type peg. I don't know what I just said there. But yeah, so I will be having to sort that out. Yeah. But it's gonna look good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of this dumb exposed belly of Sonic's, where he's got tan on him. But hey, I'm not gonna judge. I did this by using just some nail polish remover. It's pretty simple. Don't want to put too much onto it because it can somewhat melt the plastic a little bit, so just be careful when doing that. Now, I got Tamiya Putty basic type. Don't do that. I did this by accident. What I wanted was this, because it's more of like a clay kind of thing, where I can actually shape it better. This is a tube. Very hard to manipulate something that is very, very soft like this. I don't know. But yeah, it's not as easy to shape things with a goo. But I will progress through. I'll man up. I will... Yeah. I still did it. And as I'm just making the foundations for the tough, it does look a little bit bad with the first batch, but it's always going to look like that. Just trust the process. Here it is. After I cleaned it up a little bit, and after a few coats, here you can see the back tuff looks like a tuff now instead of just blob. And same goes for the front. So I start doing some dremeling with a hand dremel jewelry thingy that I have. I actually spent quite a while trying to look for this bugger. So it took me like a little bit to start getting to this, but yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of the fur Doesn't come out straight away, but it does start to get there. It's starting to look a lot more like fur. And in here, what it basically looks like. Looks like fur to me. I'm happy.
So, I'm gonna be filling out the gloves because they don't fit on Sonic's bull pigs on his arms. So, I found some air dry clay. I wanted to test out if this could work or not. And so I'm basically waiting it so I can mold it a little bit better. And so I can put it into his gloves. Yeah, I'm just squishing as much as I can to get all around into the inside of it. And then I'll be shaping it afterwards, after it dries. I then repeat the exact same process, but with Silver's head, filling in his neck peg, little hole thingy, because it doesn't fit in Sonic's neck peg. All smoothed out. Yeah. Now, I'm going to be cutting his legs shorter because these legs are way too long for his boots. And I'm also going to be swapping out the bull bits as well. I think. Yeah. So it was pretty hard to cut through Sonic's legs, so I decided to put it in some hot water for Silver, and that was a lot more easier. I probably should have done that with Sonic, but I was lazy. A lot easier with softer plastic. And here I am just testing the height. See if it's right length. Trimming it down to get it down to size.
So, I may have done an oopsie, and I might have forgotten to record the entire process up until this point. So I don't have any footage of me sorting out the knees, because I did have to change up the knees. But yeah. I also forgot to do the entire process, forgot to record the entire process of me painting and priming him and all that. So yeah, there's no footage of that. Straight to the review. Okay, so here's what I ended up with.
yeah, I forgot to do some of the recording of what I've done, but that's something I can just explain. So I ended up not being able to glue his knees together, and then ended up using some ball joints. They work alright. This leg is a little bit loose though. I will need to try and figure out how to fix that, but yeah. And something else I did is I ended up using some hot glue to fill in the holes for both hands and head. So I filled in his head there to make it fit on the peak for Sonic's neck. That was kind of like the only alterations that I did. I also did swap out his nose to be more slimmer like Sonic's, but that's about it. And then painting him, I basically just covered him in white paint, then painted in the grey, then the tan, then the black, and then I had to went over it with another white because it was a bit of a weird white. I also got in his ears as well. Couldn't forget about those. I also repainted his hands as well. Fully repainted them, colors and all. Almost same with the boots. I did leave I did color match the blue and that blue on there as much as possible. I think I did alright. But that was more of like a matte coating over it. I also did the bottom of the boots as well. These look a lot more blue on camera. In person, they are a lot more teal, but on camera, they look a lot blue, which is really weird. But yeah, did his two-toned eyes as well, so that, yeah. Oh my god, it's so blurry. Size comparison time, yay! So here is Silver with Sonic. Stands about the exact same height. Pretty close. He does get a little bit taller because of his legs and his fur coming up there, making him a bit taller, but in my headcanon, Silver's tall. Yeah, they're pretty decently heighted up together. Here he is next to my Rouge custom. I do need to like give her a few more touch-ups with paint and coatings and stuff, but I really like how glossy I got her outfit to be. I really do like that, and I'm going to try and do that, and then also having her head be more matte. I do need to repaint the wings, I think, though, because they do have like a little foggy colour to them in person. If that will show up on camera, probably not. Eh. But yeah, she's super shiny, and I like that a lot. And she also scales pretty well with Silver. I really need to get a Blaze. I don't really think these two have ever interacted before, but here's Cream and Silver for a more smaller character size. I think they scale pretty well. I do want to repaint Cream's face a bit, because those eyes are honestly kind of creepy. Same with the mouth. I don't like how it's just full tongue. There needs to be a little bit of black in there, because, yeah, looks a bit weird, in my opinion. That's Cream. And then for a larger character, Big. Oh. Big. Big doesn't really scale well with anyone, in my opinion. Big is supposed to be like big, so he should be like about there. But yeah, I mean, they look alright together. I don't think Big's ever interacted with anyone other than the Adventure cast. But yeah, that's Big. And here's how he scales next to Sonic Rivals 2 for the PSP. I think these two scale pretty well. Yeah. I can't actually remember, but I think this is like his last like main role in a Sonic game. I'm not really counting Forces, even though he kind of is a main-ish role. But yeah, here he is next to Sonic Rivals 2. And finally, here is his size next to the Master Grade Blitz Gundam from 2012. These guys are pretty nicely sized next to each other. Some of my two favorite characters. Actually, he's not really a character. Yeah. Pretty awesome. So that's about does it for this video. I don't really know what my upload schedule will be like for this. Probably once every 2 months starting off, because I'm not even joking, this video took me like, I don't know, since the 4th month. I can't remember what month that is, but since the 4th month I'm pretty sure. And it is currently the 7th month. I keep forgetting the months. I'm not good with months. But yeah. That should be about it.
It's no use!